Listen, Hart, at least try to do some training. Use a staff, or a rod, or a broom for all I care.
My apologies, but I cannot train right now. I have plans for later and don't wish to tire myself. Caspar invited me to train with him, you see.
You slept through the whole debate, didn't you? Fine, I'll summarize it for you.
Not the whole debate. I closed my eyes only after I knew what reading would cover the topic.
There you are. Don't tell me you were sneaking out to do some training.
Of course not. I was sneaking out to avoid you. How did you find me this time?
A mere coincidence. Why would you wish to hide from me?
Because you're an awful nuisance? Why do you pester me so?
To ensure that your talent is not wasted due to your lack of...
It's none of your business how I spend my time or how I use my talent. Have you assumed the role of my mother? You overplay the part. She was only half as overbearing.
What is the matter with you? As house leader, I'm trying to prevent you from causing trouble for yourself and our classmates.
Fine, I'll try harder. Really. I'm sure you see all this as my interfering with your duty as a leader. Have you considered how it feels for those of us who serve below you? You are a serious pain, you know.
How so?
You're like a mother who insists on accompanying her son to his own knighting ceremony.
That's taking it a bit far, don't you think?
No, I'd say that it's putting it lightly. All your interfering is greatly hindering my research.
I see. Very well. You've made your perspective perfectly clear. Caspar, I've been wondering something. Would you be happier if you were the heir to House Brigley's?
Of course. My brother probably wouldn't be too happy about it, though. I've got nothing against him, and I'd hate to cause him trouble, so I guess it wouldn't make me very happy at all.
You may not want to hear this, but your brother is not a good man. He's lazy and greedy, and has always relied on the knowledge that he would inherit a title. That's my impression of him, anyway.
You don't hold anything back, do you? But to be honest, you're not too far off. He's got good reason for it, though. Our grandfather was really obsessed with his second wife. She has a son who she really wanted to become the heir. In the end, though, my grandfather had to step down sooner than expected, so everything went to my father instead. My brother is still really worried about having his future taken from him.
That's the price of taking your own desires into account when choosing an heir. The concept of nobility is decaying, and it's dragging the Empire into the ground with it.
Wow, this conversation is really going there. You may be right, but it's not like the world is ever going to change, right?
It must. I intend to create a world where the best are free to rise to the top and succeed, regardless of their bloodline. The nobility as it is now could not exist in a world like that. I'll make sure of it.
What do you think would happen to me in that kind of world? Would you appoint me as a general or minister of military affairs?
If you were the best suited for that position, I would.
Right, so my life would pretty much stay the same. I'd still have to train, get stronger, and use my abilities to cut my own path. I don't know what I'm gonna do after we graduate. I guess I'll just have to fight for you.
Is that so?
At the base, the front lines, or wherever we might be fighting, I'll be there with all my might.
You know, you didn't have to roar. Caspar. You know you didn't have to.
Bernadetta.
Lady Edelgard, what can I do for you?
I appreciate all the effort you're making to overcome your fear of me. Your dedication is commendable. However...
I'm just getting in your way, aren't I? No, but Bernie, you're just an intruder. Nobody wants you around. Stupid. Oh.
Bernadetta.
Yes?
The problem you keep running into is that you don't listen to what people
That
are
that
really
long
saying.
pause from both of them.
That's why your efforts are in vain. You need to listen instead of jumping to your own conclusions. Are you listening to me?
Yes,
Then why aren't you responding?
I wanted to listen until you were finished. Sorry, were you finished then?
I was.
Then may I please scream now?
By all means. But please try to make it a fairly quiet one.
Just a tiny one. Wait. What was I upset about again? That's weird. I forgot why I was about to scream, and now I don't even need to. What a nice feeling.
You're trying your best. I know that. But even so,
But what? What did I do this time? I'm so sorry. Whatever it is, I'll go to my room and never bother you again.
wait, you didn't let me finish. I was only going to say that.
I can't believe it. How can I show my face to Lady Edelgard after this?
That's what you get, Hubert. If you rested like me, you wouldn't collapse from exhaustion.
As much as it pains me to say it, you're right. But to be looked after by you of all people, that might be the worst part of this. I don't know how to feel, to be honest. So for now, let's pretend I thanked you.
Oh, come now. Even I wouldn't abandon someone who collapsed.
You would have in a heartbeat if anyone else had been around.
Ah, yes. Quite accurate, Hubert. Why would I ever bother to be a decent person if there were anyone else I could foist the duty upon? If your situation turned bad, it would have been an absolute hassle. I could never just leave you there.
If that were the sort of man you truly were, we could never be friends.
But if we weren't friends, I probably would have just left you.
Shame you're so reluctant to do any real work. You're actually pretty good at this. Made sure I was comfortable, checked carefully for injuries,
See, even with these two, last time they hated each other, and now they're just getting really good at not being friends.
all the time. You'd be a tremendous asset to the Empire.
There you go again. I see no problem with staying just the way I am. But think of it this way. In an anthill, 20% of the ants are asleep at any given time. And it's not because they're lazy. Far from it. When the working ants become tired, they go to sleep and the others wake up. That's me. I'm the ant who rests so I can work later when other people are tired.
Maybe that's true.
Kind of like a night
Even
owl.
if it is, it's still just a fancy way to say you let others do all the work. Consider me unconvinced.
I'll consider you a bother and leave it at that. You and Edelgard work far too hard. I mean it. Take a break now and then. If you both collapsed, I think it'd be too much effort for me to bother with. Get some rest, Hubert. Not as much as me, of course.
Fine.
Okay, no, maybe that part changed a little bit. Maybe he's taking Linhardt's kind words about it. I don't know. It's just really something about Bernadetta. Like, I feel like I'm going to be corrected so wrong about this that they do actually change at the end of the game. Like, after they all graduate, they start, like, doing something different about themselves. Like, she's going to go out socializing. She's going to start taking care of herself. If I remember, he's very loyal to others and won't stop boasting about himself. But he would think of others than himself, I'm pretty sure. He will stop focusing on her and think about himself. So he's pretty much the other way around. He will stop napping on the job. And then so on and so forth. But yeah, I definitely think I'm gonna be corrected so wrong on this stuff that I say. But it's really just like a first impression on this
I did it
game.
just for you, Hubert. Isn't that what you wanted? Weren't you the one who said my shouting would cause problems?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Caspar won't stop shouting.
Well, that was then. Recently, my behavior caused trouble, just like you said.
Oh yeah, and his arrogance
I was
causes a
shouting
little
the
bit
other
of
day,
mischief
some
and
enemies
trouble.
heard. I pretty much gave our position away and left us open to attack. I mean, it turned out fine in the end, but someone could have died if things had played out differently. Anyway, I did some self-reflecting and realized that I probably shouldn't shout so much. A decision that I'm proud to say I came to all on my own.
All on your own, huh? It was a bad decision. Being too quiet on the battlefield is extremely dangerous.
I'm sorry, what? That's the exact opposite of what you said before.
Having seen you fight in silence, I have no choice but to accept the truth that your shouting is vital.
What in the world are you talking about?
We've all grown used to the way you fight. Your battle cries help morale, and your instructions rise above the din of battle. I would go so far as to say that the soldiers under your command would be lost without the guidance of your booming voice.
I really
Booming voice.
You inspire people.
Okay, so I guess this conversation really changed between them.
Something wrong?
Yeah! If you want me to shout, then I'm gonna shout! I'm not even gonna think about it! I knew you'd come around!
Don't get too excited. You'll be ambushed again.
Then I guess I'm gonna have to fight some guys while shouting!
Oh no, he's gone crazy. Someone stop him.
Taking the wrong approach. Oh,
I'm in danger, help me, says Caspar.
I suppose
Well-
I'll just have to rein him in myself.
Okay, so I guess that conversation kind of changed. Like, last time they talked to each other, like, Hubert was upset about his shouting. And that it was causing the battle's trouble for the both of them. And now, this time, he's grown a little bit accustomed to his shouting that it actually helps people. And Caspar was so confused about it. So now he's gone back to shouting again, and might lead to the same outcome. But they're kind of learning.
Hubert?
Yes?
I wanted to thank you for the other day. You know, when I fainted. Thank you for carrying me back to my room.
That was nothing. It saved me effort in the long run. Leaving you there would have just caused even more trouble.
I guess that's true. Well, thanks. There, I said it, and now I'm going.
Is this why you've been circling me like a vulture for the last several hours?
Vulture's a bit... well, yes.
Yet you would have fled if I'd approached. It seems you will avoid me at almost any cost.
Well, that's...
You don't need to say it. I know. I'm frightening. I'm told so often.
Frightening. Ooh.
Please don't laugh like that.
He actually gave a sinister laugh.
Be mindful not to laugh in your presence from now on.
Oh my god, I love him.
The grin of death itself. Terrifying.
You think so?
Oh no, now you're angry too.
Hardly. I'm sorry to have frightened you.
No, you're not. It's a trick. You're lulling me into a false sense of security. Ah, I can't stand it.
She's a lost cause.
I was gonna take back about what I said some things, but for some reason it's like I can't seem to wrap myself around about these people, but like, yeah. Maybe it really is just Bernadetta. I really want to see if she actually changes. I would pay like $10. But I know a lot of people played this game, so I'm pretty sure
About our conversation the other day.
I would just
And
give
I
them the
just
$10.
wanted to know, do you really love 80?
If it's one or the other, I suppose it would be closer to love than to hate. Why?
I knew it! That's why you work so hard for 80. Oh, Hubie, I finally get you. You're just another servant suffering from unrequited love for their mistress.
You completely misunderstand. Unrequited love. Do I really look like the kind of drooling simpleton to have that kind of motivation?
I'd like to say yes, but I know you just
The
have
long
to.
term for simp.
Fine, Hubie, tell me your situation.
A drooling
My
simpleton.
situation is simple. I am walking a path.
Oh, do go on.
Everyone has a path in life. Lady Edelgard has shown me mine. It is just beside her own. So we walk together side by side. We stride ever forward, yielding to nothing and to no one.
So, you're sharing the same dream?
Bluntly, yes. But it's more than just a shared dream. I have many feelings toward Lady Edelgard. Gratitude, respect, awe, empathy, trust, hope.
Okay.
You've put those words together. That's
I was
it.
teasing
Almost
you,
says
but I gotta
great,
say I'm just a little
but
bit
without the H.
jealous of you and 80. That you're able to embrace these feelings and
That means
strive forward
Edelgard is
on the same
great.
path. You're lucky, Hubie. I don't know if I'll ever get the chance to experience anything so utterly operatic.
Why not?
Because I figure the best quality in a partner would be that they make me happy. And loving another is really about wanting to be loved. I'm pretty sure that's different from how things are with you and 80.
Looking out toward Bridget, are you?
Yes. There are some times I cannot stop my thoughts from going home. It will be much time before I return. Bridget feels far away.
It is quite a long way. To say nothing of the sea that lies between here and there. Being unable to return must further add to the distance in your mind.
It is as you say. When I return to Bridget, I will be the new queen. I am wishing to help relations with the Empire.
I believe you will be successful. You may not be Lady Edelgard's equal, but you are resourceful enough to make an excellent queen.
Honestly,
Unlike
she
Lady
will be
Edelgard,
too.
You will not be forced to harden.
I hear she's been through
Not
so
Edelgard's
much.
equal. Is that what you are saying?
Understand that I mean no disrespect by this, but it is a fact that you are far beneath her. Make no mistake about what would happen if you were to raise your banner in revolt against her. She would crush you mercilessly.
Okay,
That is
now
not
that's
a
not
principle
helping.
of equality. It is a difference.
You're not
of
helping,
power.
Hubert.
Even if our homelands were on equal footing, Lady Edelgard would still prevail.
I
Not
can see with pride the
helping.
difference between me and Lady Edelgard, but that has no matter. I would never lose.
How amusing. For your sake, you had better hope you are right.
Yeah, she is right. God damn.
Linhardt, there you are. Observant as ever, Ferdinand. What can I help you with?
You have been utilizing clever tricks to give me the slip. But not today. Prepare yourself! A noble cannot escape from his duty. Hold these words in your heart.
It seems you really mean it this time. I suppose I have no choice but to outmatch you.
Finally, a little enthusiasm. You are bravely stepping upon the path of nobility. let us begin.
Come now, Ferdinand. Don't be foolish. I can't possibly train with you. I have places to be.
Wait! I will not allow you to get away.
I can't run anymore.
Just admit defeat.
Are they trying to chase each other?
Can't we? Just a minute. Ferdinand, let me catch my breath.
I didn't even see that Linhardt has a ponytail in the back.
I could use
Good
a boost
lord.
myself. I am surprised.
He's like that one professor in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Lounging around would have dulled your constitution. But I had a difficult
What was it,
time keeping
Sargasso?
up.
The fear of having to exert myself really helped. You're none too slow yourself. It's been a while since I ran.
He was the home economics teacher. I remember that.
It does it not?
And he looked a lot like Hanzo.
Well, how about we say that thrilling chase was your training for the day? If you will excuse me, I am going to run even more, so I can catch you next time.
After all the running
Yeah,
you
see
already did,
what I mean? I'm trying to get Ferdinand's speed up so he can catch up to Linhardt faster.
don't you?
And what is wrong with that?
Nothing whatsoever, Ferdinand. I mean that.
See, no, that was more supporting.
Caspar, I have been waiting.
Ferdinand. Waiting for what?
I am going to give you a lesson on the righteous path of the noble.
Righteous path? What? You have a problem with my path now? You think you're more righteous than me?
That remains to be seen. I heard you stopped a robbery in town the other day. Some despicable thief who was robbing an elderly shopkeeper. Rumor has it you didn't wreak as much havoc as usual.
Hey now, I think you're underestimating me here. When the thief showed up, the old shopkeeper was so scared that he could barely stand. I didn't want the guy to pass out, so I had to stay calm while handling the situation. Rather than fighting, I gave my own money to the thief and told him to get out of there. Or else.
How, magnanimous of you.
The thief fell for it and left the shop. That's when I chased him down. I got my money back and gave that thief a good beating. He won't be back here anytime soon.
Ah, so you walloped the scoundrel. That does sound like you. I am finding this story more plausible. Nevertheless, I think...
Hold on. Now it's your turn. I heard a very interesting story about you recently.
My turn, eh? Let's hear this story then.
The way I heard it, you punched a foreign soldier right in the middle of town.
Stop. I know what you are getting at. But you have the wrong idea.
Let's hear your version then.
I had been browsing for weapons at a rundown stall. Suddenly, a man seized the stall's owner and started dragging him away. Someone with a less generous spirit might say the peddler had it coming. His wares were quite inferior after all. But without a moment's hesitation, I leapt to his aid and soundly defeated the goon.
Well done. Sounds exciting.
It was nothing, really. Anyway, the old shopkeeper let me in on the details. He said that he was a novice trader, tricked by a noble into selling low-quality goods. That ruse was about to come to light, so the noble had sent a mercenary to keep the shopkeeper silent.
So that's what really happened. I just heard you snapped and attacked some noble servant. I figured it was worth asking about.
Well, I won't deny it. I forgot my rank for a moment and let my instincts take over.
Is there something wrong with that? It sounds a little like something I would do.
And your, gentle approach to handling that robbery. That sounds like something I might do. You were not overcome by your impulses. You kept a cool head. For the most part.
I think we're starting to rub off on each other. Always looking for a way to defend justice and to lift each other up.
Partners in justice, eh? Well now, that I can agree to. Bernadetta, if you have a moment, I would like to discuss what happened before.
My nemesis! The hour of fate arrives. Help!
I am not here to hurt you. You need not even open the door. Just listen to me.
I don't have to open the door? Is this a truce? Okay. I like truces.
Thank you. I would like to apologize for sticking my nose into your business the way I did. I thought you might be unhappy all cooped up in there, and that maybe I could help. But I've had time to reflect on what you said, and I realize I was mistaken.
Oh, thanks for caring, but I'm fine, actually.
I see that. I suppose that is what I'm trying to say. I should not have pushed you to do something that you did not wish to do. And for me to frighten you like that? That was unbecoming conduct for a noble.
Maybe a little bit.
Frankly, I am embarrassed by my behavior. I disgraced myself. As for my injury, you need not feel guilty or afraid. The sprain was a result of my own thoughtlessness, not anything you did. I have always strived to be a good person, but I suppose all that striving was for nothing. I have failed in my duty as a noble.
Ferdinand?
Yes, Bernadetta?
I don't really know much about this sort of thing, but you shouldn't say things like that about yourself. It wasn't all your fault, you know. I'm to blame too. I hurt you, and I'm sorry.
Really, it is fine. It healed quickly.
And it wasn't for nothing either.
I am not so sure.
I do like my time alone. Actually, it's more of a need. But you're right. I also need to venture out every once in a while. Maybe if I work as hard as you do, I can try it a little more.
Yes, keep working at it. You are already much more outgoing than you used to be.
When I mess up, or even when it's just a bad day, it's hard for me to step outside. I'm too scared. But the next day, I try again. Because I know that one mistake doesn't ruin everything. So you're still... I mean, just because you... That doesn't mean... I don't know how to put it, but that's how it is. So, the end.
What a graceful end to the conversation.
Hey! Come on, that was serious! At least I got you to laugh.
Actually, at that part now, I take back everything that I said about these characters. They can change whenever they feel like it. That definitely did have Bernadetta out of her character for that one moment, talking to Ferdinand, but only to have Ferdinand not in front of her, but to be outside the door. That was really touching. Holy crap. I've never heard of that.
Ah, you have arrived at just the right time. Care for one of these handmade treats?
My goodness, Ferdy. When did you become such a talented confectioner?
Oh, Dorothea, I am hardly an expert.
Nevertheless, you have managed to make some tasty-looking treats.
Well, it is the first time I have tried my hand at it. Honestly, there were several unsuccessful attempts preceding this batch. I made these pastries to solve that riddle you gave me. The reason you despise me.
Oh?
You said I was like a bee. The bee is a dutiful worker, just as I am. But the bee inherits a capacious home, with a wealth of honey. Similarly, I inherited my fortune. I did not receive it as a reward for my labor. I surmised that perhaps you'd feel differently about me if I earned something all on my own. That was my plan, to emulate your transformation from desperate pauper to successful songstress.
All on your own? Did you renounce your nobility? Give away your riches?
No, I made these. I obtained all the ingredients on my own, without anyone's help.
You mean, you got the sugar and the flour?
Yes. To earn the flour, I worked in the fields. To earn the sugar, I carried a merchant's wares.
Who did the cooking? You?
Naturally. I took on some extra chores in exchange for use of the kitchen at night.
I have to admit, that's impressive. Hey, it looks like you had a bit of an accident. Is your hand okay?
I burned myself a little while I was baking. Nothing to worry about.
Nonsense. That burn will scar you know. Come on, let's get you to the infirmary.
Wait, Dorothea! You have yet to try my treats.
You should be fine now, Ferdy. Big shot nobles have to treat their bodies with care just like the rest of us.
There you go again. Noble this, noble that. Though you did say it with less disdain than usual.
Nothing gets past you. As it were, I may have reconsidered you a little.
You have reconsidered me? Finally! Just as I had hoped, we are becoming friends. Now then, I propose that we...
I only said I reconsidered a little. And you still haven't figured out why I said you're like a bee. Which is funny, because you look like a bee right now. Bye!
So,
Oh, man.
a bee. A completely mystified bee.
I mean, it did put her in shock that he did all that on his own. She could learn a thing or two.